minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to our panel for being here and each of you for your leadership with these executive orders. I can only imagine in receiving an executive order and beginning to implement that, you're going to have some people within the agencies rather excited to update some regulations and probably some not so excited about it. So just kind of overall, have you received any pushback from career staff at your various agencies?
We have not at DOD. I think what has resonated very nicely with the DOD workforce is explaining why these regulatory reform efforts are should be undertaken. And so going back to the regulatory principles and the philosophy has really resonated with the workforce. So we have not received any pushback.
At GSA, we have not received any pushback from either career or anybody else we have engaged with. In fact, if anything, they see this as an opportunity not to only review the regulations that we have, but more importantly, looking at all of our day-to-day activities, our guidance documents, and that's what they're really excited about. Those are the things that impact them on a day-to-day basis and an ability to voice their opinions and possibly achieve change and making their lives better.
At DOT, we've been impressed by our career staff. They have been extremely supportive of our efforts. It's not only our efforts, it's their efforts as well. And without their support, without their expert guidance, we would not be able to move forward with this process.
Well, I'm impressed with it as well, with each of your answers there. That's pretty fascinating. So you, with regulations, with being duplicative or burdensome or whatever it may be, you're receiving no pushback. Why? In one or two sentences, why is it that your agencies are excited to proceed with doing away with these? We'll just go down the line again, Ms. Chung.
I'll be honest, I think it's very satisfying at the department to unify certain policies and requirements under one regulation. And I think the workforce is satisfied in that unity that this brings.
At GSA, on the onset, we took a lot of time to consider the process of which we would go through the regulatory review, and we approached it in a manner that allowed input from not only the employees that are dealing with it day to day, but also engaging other agencies, which had never been done before. And that's what has the employees excited. They're not just looking at it from their own input, but from the stakeholder perspective as well. And again, that's what has them excited.
At transportation, our career experts have a long tradition, a long culture of pursuing cost-benefit analysis, of seeking data, a data-driven process to improve all of our regs, to improve safety. And so as we have been working with them and they understand that we are working through and following the sound science in all of our analysis, we have extreme support from them.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate the you know, it's the stakeholders out there that are living under these regulations, and it's encouraging to me to have some government agencies excited about helping people who are just suffocating under so much regulatory burdens. So let's just continue. That you guys are doing great with this. Let's continue. As far as the transparency to the public, are your changes online, or are there plans to put them online for the public to see?
Yes, sir. Our regulatory reform efforts are on our website, our regulatory reform website, and our recommendations to the secretaries, our reports are on the website. Our process of how we conduct our reviews are all on our website.
From a transparency perspective, the Federal Register notices, the comments that we received are public and available. Additionally, the transparency that we've undertaken is working with the agencies, those agencies that are impacted by our internal management regulations. And so they're part of the process. They're seeing the recommendations. They're going through them and doing the analysis with us and then putting forward recommendations for change.
What about the general public?
We're also engaging stakeholders, such as small businesses and large businesses, those who do business with the government, such as Reverse Industry Day, where they came in, walked us through what they're doing when we're going through the acquisition process. And that input was extremely valuable in us looking at what we're doing, how we could possibly shape it to improve it for them.
Great. Mr. Owens.
We value transparency at transportation. We've published our task force reports on the internet. We also publish a monthly internet report of all of our rulemakings and where they stand. We also have continual outreach to external stakeholders and to the public. We want to solicit all good ideas, and we want to make sure the public is engaged in our process.
Well, again, thank you very much for what you're doing, and I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Chair.